So a very good afternoon to all of you. My name is Malvica Chopra. I am a sitar player. And I would like to start today's session with some music, and then let's see how this connects with what I have to say. So if you feel like, close your eyes and let the music take over. Or if you'd like to see how an instrument like this is played, feel free to keep your eyes open. But just let the music take over. Before I start, a little about what I'm about to play. It's a very beautiful morning afternoon raga, Rag Basant Mukhari, something that I learnt under my guru's tutelage, Pandit Nayan Ghoshji, who I owe everything to. And I would love to share a composition composed by him. Thank you. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, what you just heard was not just sound. It was 18 years of dedication, of devotion, and showing up every single day, whether I felt like it or not. So 18 years ago, an 11-year-old girl picked up the sitar for the very first time with trembling hands. And today, these strings carry not just music, but they carry my story, the journey, and the transformation. So when I first started at 11 and set out on this goal that I set for myself, I often wondered, why am I doing this? Because at that age, I was too young to have the concept of a career, of what it meant to have recognition, applause, or everything that is a byproduct that the field of art brings. All I knew was that I thoroughly enjoyed the challenge the sitar posed. I loved the sound of it. And on some level, it felt like the sitar had chosen me. But I still wondered, why am I doing this? And why so much? Today, after 18 years, I think I finally have the answer. So I do this because I realized that I have love for the art. So I'm doing art for the sake of art itself. And so this has taught me something very profound, and I'll get to that in a minute. When my fingers touch the sitar, it feels like time has dissolved for me, and sometimes the listeners. And the sitar is then beyond just wood and strings. It has now become an extension of me, my breath, my voice, my heart, and my soul. So coming back to the lesson that I learned, something very profound that I'd like to share, is that not everything we pursue in life needs a reason. Sometimes, or an external outcome either. So sometimes your pursuit itself is the purpose. And that's when art stops being just an activity and becomes a way of life. Now, some of you must be familiar with the concept of Ikigai. It is the Japanese concept of, a reason for being. Now, it is also the intersection of what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can sustain. Now, at 11, or even at 18 or 25, I had no idea what Ikigai meant. But today, I realize that I found my Ikigai the moment I chose to show up, the moment I chose to continue. This is what makes me jump out of bed with sheer joy every single day. My practice does not feel like practice anymore. It is a prayer. And the discipline is not discipline anymore. It is devotion. So I don't have to push myself to practice, but rather I'm pulled to it because the sitar is now my expression and my way of giving back. So here's another lesson that I've learned along the way. It is that the results of what we seek are never truly in our hand. The only thing that we truly have power or control over is to show up every single day, relentlessly, regardless of the circumstances you might find yourself in. And there are many. But you must show up every single day, regardless of that. Now, there have been moments in my own practice, very dark days of despair, wondering if people would like to listen to me, whether it's interesting for people to listen to the sitar anymore, and all kinds of doubts. But I kept showing up every single day, and trust me, I still do. And slowly but surely, my consistency is now my greatest strength. So this philosophy is very beautifully captured in the Bhagavad Gita. But before that, I'd like to speak on FOMO, another thing that all of us might be very familiar with. We live in a digital age where it is extremely easy to feel FOMO, the fear of missing out. And I have felt it too, on multiple occasions, when I was sitting there with my sitar in a room day after day, practicing the same phrase again and again. I felt FOMO, because my friends were out there doing their own thing with their own time. But I kept showing up. And slowly, this FOMO transformed into JOMO, the joy of missing out. Because when you're so deeply connected and involved in something, you stop worrying about what you're missing on the outside. And you'd really, truly start celebrating what you're finding within. And so this philosophy is something that I've lived by. And this shloka has been my anchor. Karmanye vadika raste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhur ma te sango stvarkamani. Now this shloka from the Bhagavad Gita essentially means that you have the right to perform your actions, but never to the fruit of that action. Do not be driven by the result. However, do not let inaction or inactivity hold you back. And with this anchor in my life, I've practiced day after day, not for the fame, not for the recognition, but because practice itself is my offering. And what has this given me? My sitar has given me peace, tremendous peace in a world which is filled with the chaos of deadlines, in a world that is filled with noise, and in the uncertainty of the future. My sitar has given me peace. Because this is the power of Indian classical music. This music does not chase trends. It does not chase popularity. It is not bound by anything we hold dear today. This music is eternal. For centuries and centuries now, it has been passed down from master to disciple, guru to shishya, in the guru-shishya parampara. It is an oral tradition. And the most beautiful part out of all of this is that this music is created on spot. It is spontaneous, it is alive, it is breathing. So each time I sit down to practice, the same phrase presents itself to me in so many different manners, like it has never before. So whatever I played today, or what I played 15 years back, or what I'll play tomorrow, is not something that has been created before or could be created again. That is the beauty. And so what does this teach us? This art has taught me to trust the unknown, to surrender, to let go of control, and create magic from nothing. And so after 18 years, here is my greatest lesson. It is that when you show up every single day with sheer sharp focus, with dedication, with devotion, the consistency, you do not just master that one skill you set out for. You master yourself. My music has taught me patience. My practice has taught me resilience. And the discipline has taught me the true meaning of freedom. And the most important of them all, the sitar has taught me how to truly understand who I truly am. And so I leave you with this. Whatever your sitar may be, it could be writing, it could be reading, an MBA degree, engineering, or something that is only best known to you. Give yourself to it completely. Show up every single day against all odds. And I promise you this, you will watch it transform not just your skill or the art that you set out for. Watch it transform your life. Thank you.